First thing I did when I woke up this morning was read my emails. But you know what I realized? I didn't get one from you. What's up, fam? Amberly Carter here, coming to you again with another video, this time about email marketing. Are you afraid of sending out emails? Are you holding back from your tribe and not communicating with them? You got to talk often before we get into anything to show you my new office, right? So it's new. I have only been in here for a short little while, and I thought it'd be cool to do a video from this space. So we're going to kick it off right now. When it comes to email list building, you want to build relationships. Email marketing is all about building relationships, but you can't do that unless you're actually talking to someone. So you want to take the time to plan and schedule your emails, right? It can be overwhelming unless you do. So I'm going to take some time today to show you how exactly to plan and schedule for your emails. So the first step is your calendar setup. The first thing you want to do is set up your calendar, and this includes a little bit of time for you to do some brainstorming. Now, when I brainstorm, I literally like to brain dump, and I usually use my favorite app, which is called Evernote, or I use Trello, and I use categories if I want to put things into specific areas. And if I'm going to be talking about specific categories of topics, then specific topics, then I'll put them in the categories, and I know that's what I'll be talking about for the entire month. So this month is all about getting to know me, since these are my first few episodes, but then also talking about email marketing because I think it is one of the most important, if not the most important, marketing tactic you can use in your business. It's a way for you to stay connected to your clients and to build up your rapport with folks. They get to know you on a regular basis, and there's no restriction. It's the only platform that you actually own, okay? So if anything were to happen to Snapchat, to Facebook, to Twitter, any of those places, there's nothing you can do about it because you don't own it. But you know what you do own? You own a list of contacts, right? And old school folks used to use like a little Rolodex. And in my office, I actually hold on, and I have my little space for me to put all of my cards in. So you have a little spot for you to put your cards in. Probably shouldn't show y'all all my business, but I did. So just don't be calling up to my job asking for me, okay? You don't know me like that. So I just decided that, maybe holding on to business cards isn't the best way to keep my contacts. So I think the best way to do that is to put them all into a contact list. And usually you do that with an email marketing system. The one that I'm currently crushing on ActiveCampaign. I started off with, I can't remember the very first, Aweber. Started off with Aweber, and then I moved on to using MailChimp because that was like the hottest thing, and MailChimp was super, super easy. But then I decided that I wanted to have a little bit more ability to like stalk the people who were buying on my website and list segment and send certain things to people at timed moments, So I decided that ActiveCampaign was better. In fact, it actually is a little bit cheaper than MailChimp, only by like $1 or so, but still, that dollar adds up. That's $12 a year. So I just wanted to share that little tidbit that maybe that's something that you want to use, a tool that you might find helpful is using ActiveCampaign. The next thing, once you've decided on your topics and put them into categories, you actually want to go ahead and do a little bit more research on those topics. And one of the best tools for doing research on a topic to know how well it will do with your client on Facebook, on YouTube specifically, is YouTube Buddy. So TubeBuddy, I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but I have my little cheat sheet here to tell me a little bit more information that I wanted to share so I don't forget. But TubeBuddy, all you want to do is download TubeBuddy, put it on your computer. Once you have it installed, you'll be able to log into it from your YouTube account. And from TubeBuddy, you want to go to Tag Explorer. And then from Tag Explorer, you'll be able to see the keyword score. So the keyword score actually shares with you the search volume and the competition numbers. And so that's very important because when you know if it has a lot of competition in that area versus if it has a lot of people searching in that area, then you know that you're going to have a good range of people looking for that topic either on YouTube or in a blog. And so it's a great thing that your customers will be receiving that, or the people that you're talking to through email will be receiving that in their inbox. They definitely want to receive that information. High search value, low competition. So you're looking for high search volume, low competition. And if you search through the TubeBuddy app, then it will actually tell you whether it's 100% for both. And it's a great topic for you to be sharing information on. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your research. Look for that. Start with what people are looking for already. Talk about things that you know, but you also want to give it and share that information in a unique way. So that's my little tidbit on choosing topics and choosing categories for you to plan out for your calendar. Okay? So start with what you know. Start with what if you actually have a blog, start with the content that's actually doing well on your blog, and your clients are going to love you for it. Schedule blocking. Okay, so schedule blocking is something that I have implemented in my daily lifestyle now because I was getting to the point where I was so busy at work that I was forgetting to eat. So I literally have to schedule a block from 12 to 1 for lunch on my work calendar. Otherwise, my students will come in and try to schedule appointments over the top of the time that I need to be eating, or I'll find that it's 5 o'clock in the evening and I haven't had anything to eat all day, which is not healthy, and that's how you gain weight. So don't do that. Don't be like me. Be better than me, okay? Be your best self, right? So I definitely had to start implementing using schedule blocking in my calendar for my daily lifestyle, but then also for like my blogging, any content building and marketing that I want to do. I always create a content calendar, but then I schedule that within my schedule blocking for my calendar. So that's what you want to do. You want to set aside time to do your research. And when we talk about research, it's kind of like the TubeBuddy stuff that I was telling you about. You need time to do that. And you're going to create something called a swipe file. And in the swipe file, it's just a basic folder that you're keeping on your Google Drive or a physical manila folder that you keep. You want to hold on to it and you print out things and put it in that folder so that when you are looking for ideas, you can go back to it. And a lot of times, this is really good if you're not good with copy and you don't know what to write or what to say. This can give you a good starting point. You don't want to plagiarize and take other people's stuff, but you do want to look and see like what's the language that people are using in this field, what's something that would be helpful for them that they might be wanting, what are other people doing, because that's going to tell you what type of content you should be sharing. All right, so the very first thing you want to do when you get ready to actually send your email is to decide on whether it needs to be a new campaign or an automation. And so when you're doing your automation, that usually looks like several emails for a campaign versus one single campaign. Okay, and in your automations, you want them to be timed. They're going out at a certain time on a regular basis. And with a campaign, you might want it to go out at a certain time, but it's literally just one email. And so we're going to make it easy, but I want to show you what the automation looks like. So I'm going to go into automations. If you just want to create a new campaign, you just click on the new create new campaign button in the right hand corner. If you're doing an automation, click on automations. After you click on automations, you're going to see all of the automations you've set up. If you don't have any automations, there won't be anything here, but I want you to see the setup for my 5-day list building challenge. So click on that. When you go in, you'll see what looks like a tree or a mind map of all the different emails that I have, including the actions and assignments I have for them. One of the benefits to having ActiveCampaign is that you can create a tree like this. You can't do something like this in MailChimp or Aweber. So when you go in, you see start this automation when one of these actions will take place. So when you go in, you see contact submits form, and then the form name is actually email list building challenge. So they subscribed to the form, and that's how it triggered them into getting onto this campaign automation. So if we scroll down, you can see I add a topic, a tag. The tag is topic, T-O-P, list building, and it says, does this contact match the following conditions? Contact has tag 5-day list building challenge. And so that was right here. We added the tag, so the answer is yes. If it was no, then they would go to no and it would end the automation. So we scroll down to yes, and it says send email challenge day 1 of 5, create your core lead magnet. You can't see magnet, but it says lead magnet. You scroll over it, and to the left, you can't really see it over here, but that's the actual email. It gives you like a picture of it. And so you want to click on this so you can see that you're adding you can either create a new email or you can edit an old one. We're going to choose to edit this one just so you can see it. And this is what it looks like to the right. So the next step in this process is actually creating a layout and the design of your email. And I like to go with templates. I start off with a template and then I customize that because I just don't have the time to sit up and create new stuff all the time. When I have a little bit more time, I like to create stuff from scratch, but templates work just as fine and you can customize them. So the first thing I do is I start off with a little bit of my copy. I scroll down and I put in a picture of a video. I'm going to explain, if you go through this process of the challenge, you'll find out why I use video inside of my emails and how I use video inside of my emails. So you definitely want to go through this 5-day list building challenge. I'll leave the link in the description below this video. And I give a little bit more content and context to why I'm sending this email. The thing about emails is that you want to include some links. So make sure the links that are in there, make sure the links are working. So this is the design. They also in ActiveCampaign allow you to use templates. And I'll give you an example of one of the templates for the sake of this. We'll add a new email, send email, create new email. Once you create new email, put in test email, any title that you want. Inside of here, you can see all the different templates that they allow. And there's some really good ones in here. Apparently, these are very high converting email templates. They've been tested and they know that they work well. I have some past ones and I usually go back to my past templates and use those. So the reason I wanted to go in here and show you this is because you may want to check out my template. We're going to add just a fake name, test email, continue. And that way you can see the header. So a lot of my emails will come with a header. I'm starting to move away from that because I feel like there are folks who just want to get to the content, right? And the content doesn't have to be long, but it does need to include whatever link and information you want to be in there. Save and exit, and we're back to our tree, and we see that we have all of our emails in here. But that's layout and design of your first email. The next step in email marketing usually involves some type of product creation that I have. So if I'm offering some type of freebie or I am giving a client something that they've purchased and I want to attach it in the email, I usually have to create that product and make it available. Now, there are some of you who have a tangible product, not a digital product, and you'll be mailing that to someone. But this is the email that you want to send as the follow-up confirmation and letting them know what they've purchased. You may include an invoice, you may include some type of PDF to let them know how to use their product, anything like that. You need to create that and attach it to the email. So I usually do my product creation inside of Canva or in Design if it's any type of journal or a book. My ebooks I usually create in Design as my final project for the product, and I save it as a PDF or I save it as whatever file version it needs to be, and then I attach that to the email. So your content copy, you want to pay careful attention to your content copy. A lot of times these email marketing providers will have some form of requirements. You need to have your email address that comes from an email provider that does not use a Gmail account or a Yahoo account. It needs to come from like your website or a purchased email URL like email, right? And so I also have a Gmail account, but I notice when I send an email through my Gmail account that I get flagged. But when I send it from my MamieTillMobley.com account, it does not get flagged. So you may receive emails from me from hello@MamieTillMobley.com or from bookings@MamieTillMobley.com. Those are my two main email addresses, and I use those with my email marketing provider because they don't get flagged. Check your grammar. Make sure there's no misspelled words. The most annoying thing is to receive an email with all types of grammatical mistakes, and people aren't perfect. I get that, and so I don't harp on it. But if you are someone who is in education like me and you're constantly reading things that are misspelled, you're wondering about the educational level this person has and their expertise and their ability to be giving you this information. It really affects the credibility of the source when you notice that they're not paying attention to that. And that just means they're not being as professional as they could be. Okay, we'll unpack this professional thing another time. Don't have time to do that in this video, but we can talk about how that's kind of based in some very negative things and how we got there. Okay, so moving forward, you also want to talk about those links, right? I mentioned those links earlier. You need to include several links to your websites, to your social media accounts. You want to include links to any products that you may be selling somewhere else on your website or across the internet. You want to include links to any of the downloads if they're digital products that you're actually leaving somewhere else in the cloud or where they can go to receive that download. Make sure you include those links. HTML code. Have you ever received an email that had hi first name? That's really embarrassing. It's because the person didn't go back and send themselves a review of the email to make sure that they included the proper HTML code. So make sure you're including the proper HTML code so that it says the person's first name if that's what's supposed to be there, or their last name if that's what's supposed to be there, or anything. Make sure that HTML code is correct and not giving out the actual hex code or the actual hi first name brackets. You don't want that. Send time for your autoresponders. Make sure your send time for your autoresponders is correct. I have sent emails out at 4 a.m. and that is not fun because no one opens their email at 4 a.m. for the most part, unless they're me, because they're not keeping their phone next to their bed like I am. Don't make those same mistakes again. Be better than me. Be better than me. Okay. And so those are some of the things that people do. They don't have their HTML code together. They don't have their links right. They don't have their grammar together. And then they also don't have their autoresponders sitting out their emails at the proper times, at the proper locations where people live. Okay. If I live in California, I'm not going to send you an email at the same time that I would if I were living in New York City and I wanted you to receive it at 6 a.m. So in this video, I shared with you my 3 major steps in the process of trying to plan and schedule my email list building. And that basically included me setting up my calendar and making sure that I am researching those topics, putting them into categories, and then doing more research on the topic to see if it's relevant and something that my clients or people that I'm emailing really want to receive in their inbox so that they will read it. It also includes me creating some very interesting copy and things that will keep them compelled to keep coming back and reading my emails in the future. The second step would be to schedule block and making sure that I have set aside the time that I need, properly setting aside the time that I need to actually get the work done that needs to be done for me to send out an email. So that is the actual design and layout, that is checking and making sure that my product creation is able to be inserted into that email. And then I go into my third step, which is reviewing my emails. I want to make sure that my grammar is right. I want to make sure my HTML code is correct. My links are correct. I want to make sure my sending time is correct to make sure that those emails are being sent out at the proper time. So that is all I have for you this week. Be sure to like and subscribe if you like this content. If you have any questions, leave me a message below in the comment section. And what are you sending your clients? What is your first email going to be about? I'd really like to know. Let me know in the comments. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.